few nights ago, I sat down to watch a 3.5-hour conversation that's been called one of the wisest talks on wealth ever shared online. It was by Naval, an entrepreneur, investor, and philosopher whose ideas have quietly shaped the way millions think about success and freedom. For 3 hours, I listened carefully, and by the end, I had pages filled with notes. 5 ideas that hit me so deeply, I knew I had to share them with you, and the last one is my favorite. So today, I've distilled those 3.5 hours into 11 minutes video, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. These are 5 powerful lessons from Naval: how to get rich without getting lucky. Lessons that can change how you think about work, wealth, and what it means to live freely. And one bonus lesson: seek wealth, not money or status. Naval begins with something that most people misunderstand. We chase money, not wealth. But here's the truth. Money is just a tool. Wealth is freedom. Money is like water in a river, it flows. Wealth is the river itself, something that keeps producing value, even when you're not there. Naval says, wealth is having assets that earn while you sleep. Think about it: owning a business, code that runs online, an audience, real estate, or even intellectual property. These are wealth-generating systems. Most people chase status instead. They want to look rich rather than be rich. They want to win arguments online, show off cars, or flex clothes. But all that does is trap them in a social game that never ends. Wealth, on the other hand, is silent. It doesn't scream for attention. Quietly compounds. Example, take Elon Musk. Whatever you think of him, one thing's clear: he didn't chase status. He focused on building things that scale: PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX. His focus wasn't, how do I look rich? It was, how do I build value that changes the world? And that's where real wealth begins, not by chasing symbols, but by building systems. Lesson: stop chasing status. Stop trading time for money forever. Instead, focus on building wealth that works for you even when you're asleep. Play long-term games with long-term people. If you've ever wondered why some people explode in success while others burn out, this is the secret. Naval says, all the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. That means success takes time. But here's the problem. Most people quit before the compounding even begins. Let's say you start a YouTube channel today. For the first 6 months, no one watches. A year later, maybe you have 500 subscribers. Most people give up right there. But compounding doesn't happen linearly, it happens suddenly. Like a snowball rolling down a hill, success starts small. But if you keep rolling, one day it becomes unstoppable. The key? Play long-term games with long-term people. Don't chase quick money, viral fame, or get-rich-quick trends. Instead, build deep relationships with people who have integrity, intelligence, and energy. Because when you find people like that and stick with them, your opportunities, ideas, and results compound beyond imagination. Example, think about Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Apple started in a garage. If they had given up in year 1, we'd never have iPhones today. They played the long game. Or take YouTubers like Mr. Beast. He uploaded videos for years with no money, experimenting, failing, learning. But he never quit. He kept compounding his skill, audience, and creativity until the results exploded. That's what Naval means. The world rewards those who stay long enough for compounding to take effect. Lesson: don't switch games every 6 months. Choose your game: business, art, writing, coding, YouTube, and commit for the long run. Because the longer you play, the more exponential the rewards. Leverage is the new power. This is one of Naval's biggest secrets, the real way to create wealth in today's world. Naval says there are 3 kinds of leverage: labor, people working for you; capital, money working for you; code and media, products, content, and ideas that scale infinitely. Let's break this down. In the industrial age, leverage meant machines and people. You got rich by hiring more workers or building more factories. But in the digital age, the game has changed. Today, you can create a YouTube video, a mobile app, or a digital course, and it can reach millions while you sleep. That's infinite leverage. You don't need permission. You don't need a team. You don't even need a lot of money. You just need creativity, consistency, and distribution. Example, Mr. Beast uses media leverage. He doesn't trade time for money. His content reaches hundreds of millions of people. That's leverage. Or take someone like a coder who builds an app once, and it earns forever. That's code leverage. Or someone who invests early in startups, capital leverage. The beauty? You don't have to be born rich to use leverage anymore. The internet has democratized it. Lesson: find your form of leverage. If you can code, build digital tools. If you can write or speak, use media. If you have capital, invest it. But stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. Because owners use leverage and leverage multiplies wealth. Learn to build and learn to sell. Naval once said something that sounds simple, but it's incredibly deep. If you can build and if you can sell, you will be unstoppable. Every great entrepreneur, from Jeff Bezos to Steve Jobs, mastered both. They built something valuable and convinced the world it mattered. Think of building as creating value and selling as transferring that value to others. If you're only a builder but can't sell, no one will know your worth. If you're only a seller but can't build, you'll be empty-handed. So learn both. Example, let's take Elon Musk again. He can build rockets, cars, AI tools. But he can also sell. He can make the world believe in his vision. That's why he attracts billions in investment. Or look at Steve Jobs. He didn't just design great products, he sold a story. When he launched the first iPhone, he wasn't just selling a phone. He was selling a revolution in communication. Building creates wealth. Selling spreads it. Lesson: if you're a creator, learn storytelling and marketing. If you're a marketer, learn to create real value. Because when those two skills meet, you become unstoppable. The fifth lesson is my favorite. Become the kind of person who deserves wealth. This is Naval's most profound idea, and maybe the hardest truth of all. He says, to become rich, you must deserve to be rich. That means building a mindset, character, and skill set that naturally attracts wealth without chasing it. Think about this. If you dropped Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, or Naval himself in a random city with no money, how long before they became successful again? Probably not long, because they've become the kind of people who create wealth. They think differently, they act differently, they compound their knowledge. Naval calls this specific knowledge the rare skill set that no one can copy because it's uniquely yours. It's built from your curiosity, interests, and deep work over time. Example, if you're obsessed with design, storytelling, and people, maybe your unique combination makes you a world-class marketer. If you love analyzing human behavior and numbers, maybe you become an expert in behavioral finance. Whatever it is, lean into your uniqueness, because that's your leverage. Lesson: don't chase opportunities. Build yourself into someone opportunities chase. Because the ultimate form of wealth isn't money, it's freedom. Freedom to do what you want with who you want when you want. And that starts by becoming someone worth betting on. As you're watching till here, I have a bonus lesson for you. The real wealth is peace of mind. After all these lessons, Naval drops one final truth. He says, a calm mind, a fit body, and a house full of love. These things cannot be bought. They must be earned. We often think wealth is about money, but real wealth is peace of mind. What's the point of $1 million if you can't sleep at night? What's the point of fame if you can't enjoy quiet moments? The richest people in the world aren't those who own the most. They're those who need the least. Wealth is not about working 16 hours a day. It's about designing a life where you don't have to. So yes, learn to earn. Build leverage. Master your craft. But don't forget to build peace. Because the ultimate goal of wealth isn't money. It's freedom. So let's recap. Seek wealth, not status. Build assets that work for you. Play long-term games. Let compounding do the magic. Use leverage, code, media, and capital are your tools. Learn to build and sell, the two skills that make you unstoppable. Become worthy of wealth. Build yourself into the kind of person success can't ignore. So those were 5 of the most powerful ideas I learned from how to get rich without getting lucky. But remember, these are just a small part of something much bigger. All of Naval Ravikant's knowledge, ideas, and philosophy about wealth, happiness, and living wisely are combined in one incredible book. The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Watch this next video where I'll break down the most life-changing lessons from that book. Ideas that can completely shift how you think, work, and live. If this video helped shift how you think about wealth and freedom, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with one friend who needs to hear this message. Because the world doesn't need more people chasing luck. It needs more people building wealth through clarity, integrity, and purpose. This is your time. Don't wait for luck. Start building and let the compounding begin. See you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.